another room.
Yeah.
Mine's just next to the router. It's plugged into the router directly.
Right.
Mine is.
Okay.
And I hit the sync and boom, it works.
Okay.
And I needed to have that because I have wireless boxes.
Okay.
That's why I needed that little point.
For your DTT, for your
My-
DTT, or what?
Cable boxes
Cable box.
are wireless from AT&T.
Okay.
So in order for those devices to connect to this router,
Oh, okay.
they
Gotcha.
needed that device and I had to sync it. So
Gotcha. So if you're in residential and you're putting cameras up on the second story, so our first
test
on top.
the Wi-Fi first before you put them up.
Okay.
Go upstairs where they want the camera,
Right.
log into their Wi-Fi, local Wi-Fi system.
Okay.
Look at your bars.
Okay.
If you're not strong,
Yeah.
they're gonna have problems with the camera.
Right. Okay.
Just so you know, they're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
And they would say, well, why is my camera coming in and out? Your wireless system is not strong enough because a lot of homes now have these radiant barriers
Right. Right.
and it's blocking the signal.
Right.
So then now you have to put a repeater. So they have to run a cable from your router
Uh-huh.
somewhere upstairs and
Okay.
put a repeater up there. Now you're good. Oh man, it's strong now.
Yeah.
You gotta invest in that.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of times if you're doing residential, just understand, you can always put in a contingency on it and
Uh-huh.
state, this is contingent on your local connection being strong enough. But then they try to put it back on you and say, well, you came out and looked at it, you should have known.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And do you have like a base speed that they should have? Do they?
it's contingent on the devices. Again, my house, I paid for 48 to 50,
Uh-huh.
and I tested it Friday,
Uh-huh.
it was at 18.
Okay.
I had too many devices. I looked at all the devices, I had 17 devices plugged into my system at home.
Wow.
17 devices, printer, 2 laptops, 2 tablets, 2 cell phones, 3 Apple TVs,
Right.
all this.
Yeah.
My wireless cable boxes, all right?
Mhm.
You know, my 2 wireless TVs because they have Wi-Fi connections to the TVs now, they're smart TVs.
Uh-huh.
Again, all those devices are taking up some bandwidth.
Right.
And if you're paying for the entry level, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're gonna be screwed.
Yeah.
So they gotta know that, what do you have? That's not enough. I'm paying for 48, you better have at least a minimum of 48 to do all that and stream this video. And if you don't, it's because you don't want, look, you're gonna be limited.
Right.
What's your speed right now? Turn everything off, take your phones off, take everything off except this computer. Test the speed. You're not gonna get it, not with that. If you're at 28, and then you're gonna have tablets, phones, computers, and, no,
Yeah.
not gonna work.
This customer's at 7.
So, anyway, here's where you set up the recording, motion detection. If you're gonna set up motion detection based on an event, enable motion detection. Again,
That's cool.
if you clear it, all right, that means it's not looking for it. Now, full screen. That's anything in the grid
Huh.
is what it's looking for, not the opposite. So then you can clear it and you can say, I only want this area right there. Anything moves in there, there it is.
Oh,
Other way.
oh, there it goes.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
So
That's cool.
this is where you would create motion detection. You enable it and you set that area, just the garage door, just the front door, just the lobby, whatever it is. All right? You can have it trigger an audible, a strobe, based on the outputs of that MVR. You set up the input, you use the input on the back, normally open, normally closed. You have a strobe out there, anytime there's motion, at night, okay, it's gonna trigger this. Boom, there's a strobe, there's a siren. Okay? If they want you to set up holidays, what those holidays are. Okay, so we did a recording. Again, I'm gonna give you all my cards, so if something comes up, I wanna go through this. Is VCA search, if y'all have this. Again, this is based on counting, heat mapping, facial search, etc. If you have these features, you can go search for them based on those specifics, okay? If
Okay.
you have those.
Yeah, Nah, we're gonna give them.
Otherwise, you can do a file management, you can go search based on this, the date, the time, based on the event, whether it's motion, point of sale, alarm input, output, you choose the date, times, the cameras, and search for those features. Based on the recordings, the date, the time, what cameras, you can search that way, all right? If you're choosing specific snapshots, again, this is if you're going to specific and you know the dates and times, okay?
Okay.
But if not, you just do a regular playback, all right? You choose cameras 1, 2, 3, all right? If you notice the yellow, they highlight because that's an event. Something happened during those days that was an event and it was recorded, all right? So if I go back, see, I can go back this far. So again, if those boxes were blue, that would be continuous recording. But because I have mine set up to record on event, I'm seeing the yellow. If I go back here to July, see this? Event. Here was an event. So if you go back and you don't see any color, there's no video. All right? That tells you how to gauge how far back and how much storage you have. So if you had a system you had deployed, you put it out there and it's been 30 days, you go out there and they want you to look back 30 days. And if you go back and there's no coloring, nothing colored on that day, there's no recording. You don't have that much storage. So if you go back, you can say, well, you only have 7 days storage. You want more storage, you gotta have more hard drive. But there's also a calculator that we have that lets you identify and say, okay, I want 2 megapixels, 3 megapixels, and here's the recording, how we're gonna set it up, how many days, how many hours a day it's gonna record. It tells you how many terabytes you need to record 30 days. So here's a rule to follow. When you're doing recording, let's say you do a 3 megapixel camera. A 3 megapixel camera set to record at 12 frames per second, set to record 12 hours a day, 8 hours full time, 4 hours motion, let's just say 12 hours. One camera, 3 megapixel, 12 frames per second, to get 30 days storage, 1 terabyte.
Oh.
So just know that as a rule, if they say, well, we got 4 cameras, what kind of 2 or 4 megapixels, whatever. Well, 2 and 3, okay? And you want how much storage? 30 days. 3 to 4 terabytes, minimum. Just know that. A terabyte, give or take, per camera for 30 days.
Rather than 2 to 3 megapixels.
Yep.
Okay.
Higher the megapixel, more terabytes.
What are you seeing on average that people are charging right now for like a TVI 4 camera 2 megapixel system? Like if they're
I don't know what people are charging. I just know how much the units, typically the unit might be a couple $100. Cameras could be, $75.
I was wondering if you've seen like an average out there.
No, I don't know pricing. So here, you find the storage, okay? Let's go here. You find this, there's the storage, there's the event, and you hit play. All right, you notice down here, yellow is event. Green is a smart search. And when I say smart search,
That's with the box.
the video analytics, all the different, because my cameras have smart features. And like I said, by default, you have 1 intrusion and 1 line crossing. All my cameras have smart features. So I have 3 or 4 lines, and 3, those are smart features. So if you notice down here at the bottom, green is smart features. Yeah. And again, look at the time here. So if I move the date to the next period, see that? So here I'm only doing 30 minutes. I can jump it up to do 2 hours. There's my 2-hour window. I can go here. There's my video. There's my video. Okay? So let's say I had a camera here. Anything outlined in the green box is what you're going to edit. So that box, for example, right now, let's say that there was an event I saw there and somebody triggered and came in through that door. Right here on the bottom left, start clipping. All right, they walked through the door, they came down these steps, and boom, stop it. All right, then they're going, okay, let's start it again. They're going up the stairs, out the door, and stop. Now,
Thank you.
yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it. He's
Now-
the tech.
Okay. So now, here, let me give you my card. I know you have my information, but,
Yeah, let me grab a card, that'd be great.
and he'll have all this stuff, and I'll give him the site and stuff and everything to go through.
Thank you.
So here on this recording, you start it and you stop the clip. This is where you go to search for it, okay? So if you try to exit out of here, it'll tell you, there are some video clips to be saved. Do you want to save them now? You say yes. You choose what clips you want and you export them to a thumb drive.
Yeah.
And you give them to the end user, it comes with the player. They don't have to go download a player. Automatically downloads with a player.
Oh wow. Okay.
So there's
Once you export it, so they don't
that's
need to
it.
go.
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
man, which player did I use? No, it's easy, it's simple. Plug it in, double click it, and plays.
nice.
All right. Again, this is on playback. So if you go back to it, you choose here, and then here down here you have some additional tools. Digital zoom in. If you wanted to, you could zoom in on this again. Supposed to have a little image down here in the box. You follow me?
Yeah.
Of that, and I don't know if it's because of this VGA connection, but typically you'll have the whole view here to where you can.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
It's not letting me do anything.
Try like on the red box.
No. That's what I hate about this,
On the monitoring.
this thing. It's not mine. It was here.